Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics.
Jay Peter with the Seattle Mariners.
Jermaine Kearse.
Cliff Averill.
Dave Burleson.
You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam. You're watching NorbCam.
What's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you live here for another Ask Norb session to talk for about an hour today about. I want to talk about Cam Chancellor and Doug Baldwin, who were officially released by the Seahawks after they failed their physicals, and maybe throw a little Game of Thrones in there for some of you guys who watch the show. I'm quite hooked on it, so it's been a lot of fun staying up on that and seeing how this whole season is gonna finally come to an end. I have some definite opinions on that, but hey, I see a lot of you guys on here. Jessica, thank you always for being here, helping moderate the comments, keeping these people in line who are in the chat room. George, Alex, Gatsby Palmer wants to know my Filipino. Yes, I am Filipino, Pinoy brother, right here. Just like Doug Baldwin, half Filipino, if you didn't know. Bryson, Jared, Anthony D, Aiden, WFam Cam, X-Rat, etc., etc. So I am going to be taking some calls here. We'll try to get through as many as possible. And if you want to participate in that, the number is on your screen, 515-606-5121. Enter the code 696153 when you're prompted. And I'd love to chat with you and see what's on your mind. Kathleen's in the house. I'm still yet to hear from you on the phone line, but see one of these times you're going to call in, hopefully. Well, yeah, let's just get into it. First, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the... So, Doug Baldwin, Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor, we known his career pretty much come to an end after that injury against the Cardinals a couple seasons ago. Missed all of last season. And we pretty much knew it was going to be over for him, but, it wasn't until this year they finally made it official. Doug Baldwin, on the other hand, was not quite as expected. I think, like most of you guys, probably thought that he'd be back for another season, that he just kind of went through a lot of injuries, but he'd get healed up during the offseason and come back. And then the rumors started flying around that that might not happen, that he was considering retirement. And I thought, well, maybe this is just a bunch of, hearsay, rumors, trying to come up with some interesting stories. And thank you, Kila Kaikala, for my shout out about my boy band music video. Appreciate that. But when it started to become very real as a possibility, and seeing how the way the Seahawks were drafting heavy on the receiver side, it started to make me realize, okay, this isn't just a rumor. This is possibly a real thing. And sure enough, we heard the news that he was released, and then soon after that, Baldwin announced his retirement. So I guess just have to say, looking back with Doug Baldwin and Cam Chancellor, two players who really personified the Seahawks during this run that we've had from the early 2010s to now. And I think what personifies them is, really guys with chips on their shoulders, weren't really looked at as high draft type of material, came in undrafted or very low, and came out being, all pro type guys, high impact players. Cam Chancellor defining what the Legion of Boom is with his, huge body, who could knock guys and offensive linemen on their butts, knock Vernon Davis, basically made him a scared man whenever he played the Seahawks because of the punishment he would put on him. Yet he could cover, tight ends running down the field. So, and then, of course, in Super Bowl 48, to me, Cam Chancellor was the true MVP of that game. Just with what he did, him having such a hand in so many big plays defensively in that game. Malcolm Smith, he did some great stuff too, and I think it was great that he won the MVP, but, Chancellor really, deserved to have that one. Starting off the bat with that first hit that set the tone of that Super Bowl. And then Doug Baldwin, what can be said about Doug Baldwin? It was such an important role for the Seahawks. He did so many things. You don't think of him as this because it's been a while since they've done it, but he was a kick returner for a while. As a receiver, He was one of those guys that Russell Wilson could always turn to, a clutch guy, kind of like what Bobby Ingram, if you watch the Seahawks back in the Hasselbeck days, Bobby Ingram was that slot guy, possession receiver that if Hasselbeck needed to get a pass completed, he could turn to Bobby Ingram, number 84, and he would be there to catch the ball. And Doug Baldwin was the same way. Great hands, but I think what's even better about him, because he wasn't the fastest guy, he wasn't the biggest guy, clearly, but he had really excellent feet. And there have been some videos out there that showcase that. But just the moves he made, and he's self-proclaimed as a basketball guy, but he has great footwork. So if you watch him on the line, he has just some amazing steps that he can just, if you need to, fake a guy out, he's so good at just taking one step this way and juking him that way, getting the guy all turned around. And there's not a lot of guys who can run routes like that. Steve Largent back in the day kind of had that same ability, really good footwork with route running. And in so many things with sports, it comes down to your footwork. If your footwork is good, that's like the foundation of your play. And so Doug Baldwin made up for his lack of speed, lack of size, with great hands and great footwork and just the ability to get open when he needed to. So I'm sure Russell Wilson will miss having a guy like him, but Tyler Lockett's going to have to step up as kind of the go-to guy. He was really good having that connection with Russell Wilson last year, almost perfect on attempts from Wilson to Lockett. So hopefully he can take that next step for him. And we see other big guys to come in, like DK Metcalf, there's a lot of hype around him, a lot of question about his ability to run routes. You see a lot of highlights of him just going over the top, streaking down the sideline, getting a long pass to him. But as you know, in the NFL, safeties are quicker, corners are faster. You can't just really run down a straight line and beat your guy. You've got to be able to make moves to shake the defender. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can do that once the real game starts to happen. But I'm hoping that big, fast body of his and good hands that he'll be able to do that. So long to Chancellor and Baldwin. We'll definitely miss those two guys, and they're such a big part of what was great with this team from the early 2010s to the end here, as we're reaching the end of the 2010 decade. They're such a huge part of it. But it's cool. These are two guys we can definitely say, we're one-team players. We'll eventually be in the Ring of Honor someday. And, one of the few players who played with one team their whole career. And you don't see that very often. So it's much thanks to those two players for all they contributed during their time here with Seattle. So I got John Judge along with Sam Dog mentioning superfan Pancho Villa, Bills fan, passed away from his battle against cancer. He pretty much personified what a super fan is, and he gained quite a bit of notoriety as a Buffalo Bills fan. But he's kind of like what all of us, fans of our teams, hope to represent in the same way. A guy who really just supported and loved his team through thick and thin. And it's sad when you lose players. It's sad when you lose fans as well. None of us are getting any younger. So it's just a reminder that our time we have here, whether it's a career or your time here on this earth to do something that you love, you only got so much time to do it. So, if you're going to do it, the sooner you get started, the better, because time's not waiting for you. So let's see. Let's get to some calls here, and let's get this thing rolling, shall we? Let's get the lines open. Let's see here. Make sure this is working. I'm going to bring my buddy Sam Dog in the house. Free the first caller. Sam Dog, what's up, bro?
Not much, just chilling, watching Kawhi versus Giannis game 1, but wanted to
yes.
talk a little bit about some Seahawks stuff.
Yeah, what's on your mind, Sam Dog? A lot going on this offseason.
Thoughts on the Geno Smith signing to be our backup quarterback?
Oh, Geno Smith, yes. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we do know he did beat Brady in one game in 2013 in his rookie season, and other than that, he hasn't done squat ever since, though. So, I mean, obviously being Phillip Rivers' backup for a little while in LA with the Chargers. So, I mean, it's one of those where you gotta hope Russell does not get hurt, you know. So, just one of those to get your thoughts on that too. You want to talk a bit about that?
Well, to be honest, I think spending too much time talking and analyzing a backup quarterback probably doesn't really come into play much when it comes to Russell Wilson, because how many games has Russell Wilson missed? Pretty much zero, right? He's maybe played practically every snap. So I guess to me it's like if Russell Wilson goes down at any point, I don't really care who's back there. We're probably not going to be in a very good situation where we're going to win. So the question now is, well, what does Geno Smith add? I think what people don't realize with the backup quarterback, a lot of times more than their role of besides holding the clipboard and being there in case the number one guy gets hurt, is he's got to run that scout team. He's got to run that other side of the ball. When they're practicing and they're simulating Cam Newton against the Panthers, that backup quarterback's got to be on the other side, sort of, playing that, often playing the scout team, for the defense. So that's kind of the role that he's got to play too, is be the imitator of the other quarterbacks that we face. And so, maybe that's where his strength will be, and that his ability to, emulate some of these new challenging quarterbacks that we're going to be facing, particularly that new one down there in Arizona is going to be a young, fast, that can throw the ball, Kyler Murray. So, so I look at it as he could be a versatile guy to emulate some of those guys. But if Russell Wilson were to lose, the ability to play in some games, can Geno Smith pick up and run with it? Well, maybe their hope is that at least they wouldn't have to change up their offense too much in order to accommodate him. But man, I don't even want to think about the idea of losing a Russell Wilson. So
well. Thankfully, Russell's smart when he goes down, when he's running. He usually slides, gets out of bounds, doesn't take any unnecessary hits. A lot of times, even when he's getting sacked, he tries not to take the big hits so he could risk an injury. So at least Russell's been good about not risking injury, and hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But like I always mentioned before, we won't know until we reach the eye test.
Yep, that's right.
And then also I want to mention, say R.I.P. to Buffalo Bills superfan Pancho Villa. I was privileged once to have gotten to meet him back at the Monday night game in 2016 when the Seahawks played the Bills, and I went down to meet him. I still have his card and anything. I wish I would have gotten a picture with him. He was a really cool dude. His outfit was awesome. It's sad time, especially when you have a super fan that means so much to the organization, that to have a Hall of Famer bring him up to announce the draft pick in 2018, he's to the Bills what Mama Blue is to the Seahawks.
Right. Right. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Iconic for their franchise.
Yeah. And I know there are other super fans out there too, though, but for Pancho Villa, he has a legendary status, though. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Cancer, man, that brutal thing that takes lives away too soon. So, it's going to be a sad day, definitely for the Bills franchise. But,
and for the PFUFA as a whole.
And the PFUFA, that's correct. And I got to mention too, our very own one of our newest members of the PFUFA, Dave Eck. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Sam Dog, but Big Dave.
Dave sits right behind me.
Yes, that's right, and he's been undergoing his own personal challenge. He had already lost part of his foot a few years ago due to an infection that he had, but just recently he had to have both feet removed due to it was a complication related to diabetes. And anyway, he's been amazing, staying positive through a very. It's hard to even imagine going through what he's going through, but he's staying. He's one of the most positive, fun-loving guys I know, and so I wish Dave the best. And I know nothing will keep him down. I have a feeling that huge, tall, towering human being of a man will be out there again. He'll find a way to get out there. But shout out to Dave for his struggle.
I love Big Dave, man. Dave is the man. I always talk with him before all the games too. When he's behind me, we need him back in 122 ASAP.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he'll be there.
Flesh.
He'll be there.
Dave is my guy. Dave is my guy, man. I love Big Dave. The one recognizable fan, the only fan in the NFL that gets comparisons to Bigfoot.
Yeah, he is one big tall dude.
Because he always puts out his Bigfoot comparisons on the web with him and Sasquatch, and that's what's awesome about Big Dave. But other than that, though, still anxious for the upcoming eye test to see what we got in our. I mean, I am sad about Baldwin's retirement and obviously Cam Chancellor, but we knew when the injury happened that it may came down to this. But I trust with what's going on with Pete and John, what they seem to do. They seem to know what they were doing when they drafted DK Metcalf and Gary Jennings and John Ursua, and then we still got some undrafted guys to see. But I'm confident in this new receiver core that we're getting. But you kind of had a feeling when we drafted those receivers that it may come down to this, and hopefully Baldwin made himself a home here in Washington and stays involved with the community, because I sure would love to see him at some True Font bowling events again this year,
Yep, I hope so. Yeah, he's a great guy on and off the field. So, yeah, it's need new guys to step up, but we've definitely drafted higher than we normally do when it comes to receivers, and so I'm very stoked about Metcalf to see what he can do. I've been wanting a receiver like him a long time.
After we drafted him.
That's right. I know, man. We watched the first round together, but it wasn't very long after that when we got Metcalf, and we kept watching. Was he going to fall to us? He's going to fall to us? Come on, no, say that. Say it ain't so. Yes, we got him. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you were at your daughter's volleyball thing when it happened, right?
Yep.
I mean, I was watching at home, and I posted the epic reaction on my YouTube, and then
I saw that.
immediately. You immediately get the call. You had no idea we traded up. I saw the whole thing, and then right when you pick up, I scream out, "DK Metcalf!"
Yep, that was exciting, man. So let's hope he lives up to the hype, for sure.
Yeah, which the eye test will say a lot when the time comes. But anyway, I'm gonna get going so that way you can get to your next caller.
You bet, man. All right.
And
well, thanks, Sam Dog.
Come check out my channel. Sam Dog, the infamous 253. Make sure you come check it out. Trying to keep up on most of the stuff that's been going on, but when something comes out, be sure to keep back up with the video. So until the next time, if you ain't with it, you ain't infamous.
You ain't
and
infamous.
As always, go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks. Thanks, Sam Dawes. Good talking to you, man. Let's get the next call in here. This is a woman. Hopefully this is the number. I've been wanting to talk to Kathleen for a while, and I think this is her. If I'm not mistaken, actually, I'm not sure if this is, but let's find out. Let's go to the 605. What's up?
Hi,
You're
Rob,
on with.
it's
Okay.
me.
Is this Kathleen?
I'm Aiden. I'm calling from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, Aiden. Okay, I thought that was somebody else. But Aiden, what's going on?
I was waiting for Ask Norb all day.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I was waiting for Ask Norb all day.
Oh, you've been waiting all day. All right, well, you got me. So the floor is yours. What is on your mind?
Time?
Oh, last week?
It was a sad day. Cam Chancellor and Doug Baldwin.
It was.
They were good guys, so...
Cam Chancellor was my favorite player.
That Doug Baldwin did retire.
Yes, he did announce his retirement, went on Twitter and wrote a letter to his younger self, kind of a way of looking back on his career.
Yeah.
But yes, he did. I did hear that it was official that he was retiring. I don't know if he sent in his retirement papers, but I believe he is no longer played his last down in football. So, yep, short-lived.
My thoughts are, I did like them.
I liked them too.
we signed Jamie Collins, maybe.
Yeah.
We signed Geno Smith.
Yep.
Geno Smith will be a good guy for our team. I hope Russell Wilson stays and retires as a Seahawk.
I think that's a pretty good chance that's going to happen. Seahawks obviously willing to make the investment, so I think I think he's in for the long haul, which is what I was hoping for.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's it's a time of change, constantly a time of change.
I remember I was on your show last time.
Mm-hmm.
Last Wednesday, I was waiting.
Oh, I know. I couldn't do the call. It was a unfortunately very busy day for me. I was doing my regular work, which is also in production. It was a long day, and then had girls volleyball stuff. It was just hard to juggle all these things in life, but I'm glad I could squeeze it in today. It worked out perfectly. So,
Seattle Seahawks could get to another Super Bowl. I hope that happens.
I hope so too. You know, it's gonna be a tough road. I gotta be honest with you. You know, the Seahawks schedule, looking at every single game, looks pretty tough. It's gonna be a tough road to hoe. There's no easy games on this schedule. So if we do make it to the playoffs, I think we can make it to the playoffs, but it's gonna be a tough grind. But you know, I think that also sharpen our sword and make us that much stronger when we get to the postseason. It's my Game of Thrones vibe going on.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite video of all time is you versus Patriots fan.
Me versus the Patriots fan. Oh, is that the one where we're driving?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was right after Super Bowl 49. And me and Chrysostomo
You're sure funny.
got into a little race. Little Fast and the Furious, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, that was fun. We'll have to. I've got to do another one like that again. But yeah, it's definitely going to have some Chrysostomo videos.
Funny guy.
He is a funny guy. I am a funny guy. Anyway, hey, thanks for calling, Matt. I got some other calls I'm going to try to get to, but thank you for watching and for staying with the show. I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Take care and go Hawks. All right, let's go to the 206 in my neck of the woods here. What's up? Who's this? Where are you calling from? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this?
This is Gatsby Palmer.
Oh, Gats. Yeah, I saw you in the comments, right? The Great Gatsby. Yeah. What's happening? What's on your mind today?
How do you feel about the Seahawks schedule?
Oh, I just got done talking about that. Looks really tough, man. I'm not going to lie. You know, we play all the AFC North teams. That means Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore, maybe Cincinnati's, you know, we're playing them at home. Maybe that's one of the more beatable type of teams. That Pittsburgh on the road, they're not as formidable as they've been in the past, but still, Pittsburgh, tough one. Baltimore, good defense there. On the rise, Cleveland Browns all restocked. They're not the team they were a few years ago at the bottom of the barrel. They're looking as a playoff team. And then we got to go to Carolina. We got to play, Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Of course, we got the Rams. Man, and then the Arizona Cardinals. They're not going to be the doormat of the NFL like they were last year. So, yeah, it's going to be challenging. I will do my official 2019 season prediction video. That's going to be, though, close to the open of the season because I got to take a look at the team and really know what I got before I make a bold prediction. But so expect that near the end of preseason, end of August. Got to wait. Need some time to look at this team and see what we got to work with, see what we're working with.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how we play against Earl Thomas.
Yeah, that'll be fun watching Earl going against Wilson. You know he's going to be hungry to try to make a statement. You did DJ Metcalf trying to go deep. Earl Thomas trying to close in. Russell Wilson throwing the deep ball. Who's going to go get it? DK Metcalf has got a bit of a height advantage over Earl Thomas. So I think I give the odds to our new receiver if that comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. And of course, the Richard Sherman rematch twice a year with the 49ers. They're gonna be better with Jimmy Garoppolo back. Who else? What other potential? Am I missing any? There's any
Wish
other?
we could see Sherman and Baldwin matchup.
What's that?
Wish we could see Sherman and Baldwin matchup again.
Oh yeah, I know that would have been cool. Unfortunately, yep, those days are over. Would have never thought that he'd actually outlast Sherman. I figured, Baldwin would probably last a little bit longer, especially with the injury problems that Sherman had. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Very surprising, but yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, man, for the call. I appreciate it.
All right. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. All righty. Let's go to the 425. Hey, what's going on? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this?
Hi, I'm Diego, and I live in Washington State.
Diego from the 425. What's going on? What's on your mind today?
So I haven't been following the Seahawks too much because of school, and I kind of haven't like caught up with all this. So I was wondering what's going on with like the new signings, because I kind of followed the draft a little bit, and I know we got DK and like LJ on the defense. A lot of good players, but have we had any like big signings recently?
Probably the biggest signing would be the Seahawks getting Ansah from the Detroit Lions. That was probably the biggest free agency pickup we've had so far this offseason. Ziggy Ansah, the pass rusher from the Lions. We did sign him to a pretty good deal, considering that it's kind of a prove-it deal. He can make a lot of money if he can hit a lot of benchmark performance benchmarks. He can make, I don't know, $8 million plus. But I think it's a $5 million 1-year deal. So it's definitely a kind of prove-it deal that he'll be motivated to perform so they can get a big contract next year. So that's probably been the biggest news so far outside of the draft. That obviously with letting Frank Clark walk. That was, or not walk, trading Frank Clark, losing Frank Clark. That was a huge pickup. So, we've definitely made some attempts to shore up that spot. So I'm hoping that he can return to his form, because he was pretty badly injured last year with the Lions. But he comes back in, hopefully not missing too much, because he's still recovering. But I think he's on schedule to be back in time for training camp at the start of the season. So. That's the hope anyway, that good. He will. Yeah. So
I heard. I thought he was gonna be. Thought he was too hurt to miss like the first month of the season, but sounds like he's better now.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting reports on how ready he'll be, but it seems like that he's more leaning towards being on schedule to be ready to play, as opposed to when they initially heard that he might miss a few games. Which obviously is huge, considering that it's a 1-year deal. So, another guy that we'll definitely be watching to see what he can do for the Seahawks this year.
Yeah. And then I had one more question, but I think I remember. Didn't we kind of get a big steal off of Kansas City for trading? I think it was just Frank Clark for like a bunch of picks that included us getting LJ on the defense too?
Yeah, we did. We got a first and then a future second, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was a 2020 second round.
2020 second rounder, yeah. I believe that's what we got. So, if memory serves, I believe that's what we got. So, yeah, in the end, it was great because of the fact that we were able to get, an additional first rounder and then the future one. But then the way the Seahawks managed to expand our number of picks even further by trading down and still managing to land guys like DK Metcalf, that worked out pretty good. We may have missed out on a higher level pass rusher that we could have gotten, like Sweat. He was available and we traded out and missed the opportunity to get him. So, LJ Collier fell to us, or they kind of reached maybe a little bit to get him, but I think they wanted to make sure we got at least one good pass rusher in that whole deal. So we'll see how he plays out and see how Sweat does with, I forget what team he ended up with, but it was fun to watch how these guys who all got drafted earlier perform. Not everybody performs based on their draft stock, you know what I'm saying? So it's hit and miss sometimes. So hopefully John and Pete keep doing what they know that they've been pretty good at doing, and hopefully we hit on a few of these guys. Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, Diego. I appreciate it. Yeah, you bet, man. Go Hawks. All right, let's go to my buddy from across the border over in Vancouver, BC. Anish, what's happening, brother?
Norb, how's it going, buddy? Long time no talk.
Yeah, it has been a while. How have you been?
Been good. Just itching to get back into the season right now, man. Just a lot of stuff going on. The draft was successful, I think, based on paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got some good picks. You know, Collier, you know, Metcalf, you know, Jennings. It was good draft, I think, overall.
Yeah,
Really
I
looking
agree.
Forward to, and especially with Geno Smith signing, really pumped up about that. I think that he's going to be a pretty good backup. He has 31 career starts. You know, I think there's going to be some competition, obviously, with Paxton Lynch, but I think on paper, I mean, you know, Russell's been really healthy, and he'll be healthy, but you still want to solidify that backup position, and I think it's a good low-risk move getting Geno Smith with his experience. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You know, you want a guy. I talked about it with Sam Dog a little bit earlier, but you know, you don't think too much about him because most likely you're never going to see him on the field. You know, at least that's the plan. And your hope, I guess, is just you got to have insurance. So if he did have to go down, you know, he'd be a decent backup. You know, who could fit right into that spot. But like I said, off the field or more like not on game days. The other role that Geno Smith has is, you know, running the scout team and doing that other aspect of, you know, helping get the defense ready for the team they're going to play the following week. So, you know, the backup quarterback has more than just holding clipboards as his responsibility. So hopefully he can help do that and help get the defense ready. You know, that's the other important job that they don't talk about too much for the backup quarterback. But yeah, he's got experience, and I think the other important thing is that he won't be a distraction or any kind of a, you know, thing that would take away from Russell's focus. Any kind of, you know, he's just a guy that will just be solidly back there and just waiting in the wings. So, yeah, no, it's a good, safe, low risk move. So, I'm good with it.
That's good. I agree with you. Any concerns about Bobby Wagner? Obviously, the extension. I mean, we got to get him signed. I believe. I mean, he's the anchor of our defense, the leader of the defense. You know, those types of players just don't go on trees. You know,
yeah.
He's on his way to be a future Hall of Famer even. So, I mean, that's one of the guys, you know, hopefully we're able to sign to a long-term extension and keep him. Just your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the fact that they did let Frank Clark go, to me, was a sign that, hey, Bobby, when it comes time, we're going to take care of you. Because if they had did the Russell Wilson extension and kept Frank Clark, I would have been a little nervous, like, oh man, are they not planning to keep Bobby? Because I couldn't see them really figuring out a way to keep all three. Mm-hmm. You know, so the fact that out of the three, if you had to choose two, it's kind of obvious who you got to keep, right? You got to keep the two quarterbacks on both sides of the ball. The quarterback on the offense, Russell Wilson, and the quarterback of the defense, Bobby Wagner. So I don't think we'll be talking about this much longer. I don't know when they plan to get it done. I guess they have a little bit more time. They're not quite as rushed, but hopefully they'll do it sooner before it becomes any kind of an issue. But I don't see Bobby doing anything that would be like a holdout or any kind of distraction or anything like that. I have a feeling things will get resolved, you know, before it becomes an issue. But yeah, I can't see this team going and not re-signing him. I know didn't he just turn 30 or is really close to 30?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of that number that people start getting a little concerned about. But, you know, I think, you know, Bobby Wagner's his whole game isn't based entirely on speed. You know, a lot of it is understanding, being able to read the defenses, obviously quickness too. But, man, he's just such a solid player. I mean, maybe Luke Kuechly, probably the only other linebacker at this point that, you know, is kind of on the same level with him, but he's probably one of the best linebackers in the game right now. So,
and he's leader in the locker room too. Keep in mind, leader of the locker room.
Yeah,
the young players too. That's you can't. You know, he's the intangibles. Well, he's a great player on the field, but when he brings that locker room and to the young core, younger players, you know, that's huge, right? You can't. That doesn't go unnoticed, right?
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, they got KJ coming back too. So, you know, you got a good tandem there that's been working together for a long time. And so, you know, that if we can get, I'm not sure who's on the other strong side, if that's going to be Michael Kendricks or who's going to be over on that side. But 2 out of 3, you know, you're in pretty damn good shape. So, you know, yeah, it's good to have a few veterans in there to keep all the new guys in order. Because, man, this team looks so different from the team that we had playing in the Super Bowl and all those playoff games. You know, it's the only teams left, the only players left from Super Bowl 48 pretty much is Russell, Bobby, and KJ, right? Isn't those the only three?
Yeah, that's it.
So
That's it.
So times have definitely changed, but that was only 5 years ago. A lot of things changed in 5 years.
Time flies.
But hopefully we'll be talking about the new guys who will suddenly become legends in the next 5 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing who emerged as one of those. You're gonna say?
I'll hit you up soon. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'll let you get some other calls. Great chatting with you. I'll see you at camp coming up. I'll be hopefully there for game one. So
okay.
Camp rolls in July. So hopefully we can maybe hook up. Obviously during the season we'll hook up, but at CenturyLink Field. But hopefully maybe I can see you at camp if one of the days you're at, whatever day you end up going to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely look forward to seeing you again when things get rolling again. Hey, it's a real quick question. Right. I put it on my thing here. I haven't talked about it yet. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
You know what? I've never even seen one episode.
Oh, you're one of the guys who've never watched it. Okay.
I don't watch it at all. I don't know anything about it. It's a big thing. That's all I know. I've never seen. I'm probably the only guy that doesn't watch it. My brother watches it. Friends watch it. I haven't seen a single episode, but heard it's good. So
I was like you, man. I was like you. For the first 4 or 5 years, I heard about it, never watched it. And my buddy, my business partner, Mike, 80s Broncos fan, he kept telling me, man, you got to watch it. It's got everything you love about movies. It's got violence. It's got sex. It's got action. It's got everything. It's got, fantasy. It's awesome. It's like, yeah, busy guy. I'll get to it. Finally, he bought me the Blu-ray box sets and basically made me watch the first season. Sat with me in one of our retreats. We watched it. And then I was hooked. And so I basically caught up. That was like 2 years ago. So I watched the first, 6 or whatever episodes and caught up and I'm all in. But it's a pretty amazing show. I definitely recommend it, folks. For those of you who are holding out like Anish here, give it a shot. You got to kind of. It's one of those things you got to the first season. It takes a while to get into it because there's so many characters and you're introduced to all these different people. And you're like, who the hell is that? Oh, who's that guy? I don't get who are these people. But then once you get through it, then you get immersed in the world. It's pretty amazing. So. Highly recommend.
All right, have a good one, man.
Yeah. All right, man. It's good to hear from you. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right. Bye. Oh, good to always talk to Anthony, to Anish. But I'm going to go now to Anthony's been waiting for a while. Haven't talked to him in a while. Anthony D. from Yakima, Washington. Anthony, what's going on?
Hi there, NorbCam. Anthony D. is not available at the moment.
What's shaking, man? What's new in the world?
Hey, buddy. That's me.
Yep. How's the music songwriting business going?
Oh, doing good. I haven't wrote some songs in a while.
Oh, okay. We gotta just, gotta work on those music apps and play around, man. I'm telling you, that's the key. I hope you've had a chance to make some time for that.
I haven't taken the time to actually record any music yet.
Oh, are you working? I remember you had some potential jobs lined up at the last time we talked.
Oh, still don't have a job.
Oh. All right. That's all right. It'll come soon enough. So what have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Just chilling. My brother and I moved in with our dad.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So what have you been up to, buddy? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Well, this is that time of year where it's like volleyball rules the world in my family. Both girls playing club volleyball. It's every weekend, practices almost every day. And I just found out today that both my daughters made the high performance, well, not the team, but they made the camp that could get them on the high performance team, which is just a whole nother thing that involves traveling to Florida possibly if they can make the team. But that was a pretty huge accomplishment. So just more volleyball, more and more volleyball. And I play volleyball. I play volleyball on Tuesday nights. And so it's just been that, lots of volleyball. In fact, I have a scar on my arm. I can't show you those because I can't roll my sleeve up far
Oh
enough. Maybe I
yeah.
can.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Where's that?
You
There it
okay?
is. I got a scar from this from volleyball, rec volleyball with like old people like myself. Crashed into the wall, scraped my arm against the hinge, started bleeding all over the place. Then I got smacked in the face 2 times by a spike. That one hit me right on the eyeball. I couldn't see.
Oh.
It was like foggy in my right eye for like a day.
Dude.
And this is supposed to be a non-contact sport, folks. Anyway, it's a lot of fun.
You
Though,
don't,
so.
you don't want to end up like Nick Fury.
no eye patch here, thank goodness. But that'd be kind of cool though. I might have to do a show with an eye patch on. That'd be pretty dope. It'd look like this. NorbCam coming at you. I can't see. No more 3D movies. Anyway, you got any Seahawks stuff on here, man? Because I don't think the audience is going to be very entertained if we just keep talking about our personal lives.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk some Seahawks.
All right, what you got?
Doug Baldwin and Kam Chancellor gone, dude. What the heck?
Yeah, well, one was expected, the other one not so expected, but a sad loss nonetheless. 2 great players will eventually be in the Ring of Honor someday. Yep. It's good people there, man.
Yeah,
But,
I'm glad that Russell Wilson decided to stay with the Seahawks for 4 more years plus 1 year.
Yep. Pay me $140 million, I would stay too, right? Pretty good little contract he got for himself. You know, there was a video, some of you on Twitter or Instagram might have seen it. There's a video of Russell Wilson. He bought a house for his mom. It was like a video of him handing the keys to a new house, and her mom just starts going crazy. So that's cool.
That was really awesome what Russell did for his mom. That was really cool.
Yeah. Something tells me they didn't really show what the house looked like, but I bet it's a really nice house. So,
I bet your family and you would want to live in that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the house. I mean, our house is, I don't know if it's as nice as Mrs. Russell, older mom of Russell Wilson, is as nice as that, but, it does the job. But, yeah, that'd be nice. If I had $140 million in the bank, I might be able to afford to buy a few houses for people. But anyway, all that money going to the volleyball clubs. No, it's all good. And then Russell Wilson. This is an old story, but a few weeks ago, he got presents for his offensive linemen, and he bought them Amazon stock. It was like $12,000 or $13,000 in Amazon stock. Wow. And some people are like, man, you just got a $140 million contract and you only could give him $12,000 in Amazon stock? Well, it's very good likely chance that $12,000 is going to grow to a much larger amount, So it's an egg that will enlarge to a bigger investment. But he didn't have to give him anything, so that's pretty nice.
All right. Hey, a few more questions before I let you go to take more calls. Number one, so hopefully this summer, if I can record a few of my music, can we talk into making music videos while you make some BTS behind the scenes at your city, and I'll try to film the main part in Yakima. And 2, when you're done with your live streaming thing, can I talk to you again?
I have to go to a meeting at 6:30, so I'm down to like my last 15 minutes, so I'm gonna be a little busy. But with the music, again, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse, and that's why I keep asking, hey, have you done the songs? You got to write the song first. You got to write the song before you can plan the video. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless to talk about the video without the song. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, not just lyrics. You got to write the music. You got to write the music too, right?
I know.
Okay, yep. So I'm excited to hear the drafts. Sometime when you have a draft, send me it over to MP3 so I can pop it on my, my AirPlay in my car and kick it. All right, I gotta go, man. It's good to talk to you, though.
It's been a while, buddy. I'm glad I got to talk to you. Hopefully, I'll talk to you again.
All right, take it easy, man. By
the way, go Hawks!
Yeah, go Hawks! Hey, as a reminder, I forgot to mention that. But if you look at the side of the screen right there, we do have our annual Hawk Fest event that our charity 12s Helping 12s / Fans for Good is running. It's at Emerald Downs where I do my Seahawk viewing parties. June 2nd, which is a Sunday, coming up in almost 2 weeks from now. It's coming up fast. 1 to 5 p.m. June 2nd at Emerald Downs, and I'll be there with my buddy Mark with prizes. You can win cash. There's going to be a lot of stuff, fun stuff for the kids. Pony rides. We're going to have the Reptile Man with alligators and snakes and stuff. Dance performances by the Boot Boogie Babes, and just a fun time to hang out, and it's free. Just got to wear your Seahawks gear, or any Seattle gear, actually, for that matter. So if you guys are in the area, I hope you guys will come to that. All right? Hawk Fest 2019. All right, try to get a couple more calls squeezed in here before I got to go. I'm going to take it to the, 509. What's up? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Tuna Cat from Spokane.
Spokane. What's your name again?
Tuna Cat.
I still didn't catch it, but it's something like Tui Cat.
Tuna Cat. That's me.
Okay, Tuna Cat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's up? Do I call you Tuna? Is that what I call you then?
No, I go specifically by Tuna Cat.
Tuna Cat. All right. Tuna Cat. Tuna Cat. What's on your mind, bro?
Well, I got two questions. One is Doug Baldwin leaving, of course, and then it goes down to the second question is the 53-man roster of our wide receivers. So for Doug Baldwin specifically, do you think he's earned the right to have his jersey hung up in the stadium? And then for the 53-man roster, we're taking about 6 wide receivers. Who do you think on our wide receiver core are we taking for those 6?
Ooh, well, that's the second one. That's a good question right there. All right, go to the first one. Does Doug Baldwin deserve to have his jersey retired? That is a really good question. I'd like to know from the people in the chat, do you guys believe that that Doug Baldwin should have his jersey retired? Like I said, he's definitely Ring of Honor material. Jersey. Now that's a big one because we don't have a lot of retired jerseys up in the stands. It's not one they give out quite as.
Oh, they got like 4.
Yeah, I know it's 4, but I mean Ring of Honor. There's a lot more in the Ring of Honor. But wow, Doug Baldwin, should he have his jersey retired? I don't know if I could say that. I mean, I love the guy, and I think he's one of the best receivers we've ever had. Probably second most productive to Steve Largent. So in terms of, I'm talking this out because haven't really thought about this question, but probably one of our second most prolific receivers for the Seahawks. Maybe he does deserve a spot on there. I hadn't really thought about him as a retired jersey guy, but I mean, he was part of that Super Bowl,
it's
2 Super Bowl teams. It is a tough one because I'd have to look at the thing is I need to look and look at numbers because a lot of these things, some of it's numbers based, a lot of it is just kind of the whole contribution as a player to the team, and yeah, that's tough because in some ways he doesn't have the numbers that some receivers have had. If he had certainly overtaken Steve Largent in some of those categories, maybe that would be a much more obvious thing. Like Russell Wilson clearly.
He's done so great on a primary run team, though. I mean, that's got to count something.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think that's why sometimes it's hard to justify it because in a team where the run was the priority, the receivers often don't get the credit because they have so few opportunities to get those gaudy numbers that often receivers on other teams get.
Well, you'll have to do a poll maybe you'll have to do a poll sometime and let the viewers decide. What about the second question for the 53-man roster on the wide receiver core that we're going to get? I think it's going to be Lockett as our number 1 option. And then you got Moore coming up. I think DK is going to be on the field.
Yep.
And then I'm missing someone else, but I'm not sure about the other, 3 or 2 people that I left out.
Well, I think Jerron Brown, I think, is still on the team. Isn't he still on the team? Is he still?
Right,
I think
but
he's still on there.
He is. But we picked up another wide receiver. He'll probably be on the practice field or something. I'm just talking about the 6 guys that we take. I'm saying it's for sure Lockett, David Moore, and DK, and just so that's 3 so far. Who are the other 3 that we want to put on the field?
Yeah, that is a really good question of who will take the spot basically vacated by Doug Baldwin.
Lockett for sure. He's the
Lockett
most
for
seasoned.
sure. Yeah, Lockett's now the old guy in the group. So I think David Moore. Well, who's that second receiver that we just picked up?
Chandler, I think. I can't remember.
I was trying to remember now which one it is. I'm looking it up here. Jerron Brown's on there, so he could compete. There's also oh man, why am I forgetting his name? He was the guy that came in. It was the second receiver that we drafted. I like Gary. Is it Gary Jennings? Gary Jennings.
Oh yeah,
Gary Jennings out of West Virginia. That's the one. That's the guy. I think he makes
Chandler. I don't know why I said Chandler.
I think Gary Jennings. Rob agrees with me. Gary Jennings. That's the one I was thinking of too. So yeah, I think he's going to be competing in there. Don't know that much about the guy really at this point, other than that he's 6'1". But yeah, that's what the camp is going to be very interesting to watch, because it's like a whole new open field out there with all these new guys. So yeah,
that'll be the thing to watch that'll be the thing to watch this year for sure. But I'll let you go, bud. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, Tuna Cat. Take it easy. Go Hawks.
All right.
All right, I've got 6:15. I got time for one more, so I'm going to take it to the 907. What's happening? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this?
Hey, Norb. It's Jessica.
Oh, Jessica, my favorite moderator of this group. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How is life up there in the top corner of the United States?
Well, today it's a little gloomy, but other than that, the weather's been amazing. I cannot complain at all.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is Solstice. What's your full YouTube name? Solstice Beauty by Jessica, is that right?
Yeah, I know it's a little long, kind of annoying, but.
and for the people who don't know you, they probably see you in the chat all the time. But what? Tell people about your channel. What do you focus on your channel?
Okay, so I have two of them. There's this one, the Solstice Beauty by Jessica. That's the makeup kind of like channel that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is the Kiki Files, and it's kind of new. It's a little newer, and that's where I do like true crime stories.
Oh wow, that's makeup and true crime stories. Wow, that's two very different genres.
I should probably just merge them together and then just do talk about the true crime story while doing my makeup.
Well, that would be cool. It's like you were talking about. And then he came into the room and snuck behind her with a knife to her blade and put a little blush on your cheek while you're at it, and bring out the colors in your cheekbones. Anyway, you might have a thing there. Anyway, so yeah, so are you? We're going to completely stay off topic here. So, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yes, I am.
You are. So are you up to date? You've been following the finale here this season?
I'm a little behind on this season because I just finished my senior year, so I've been super busy with school.
Oh, so you haven't kept up. You're not on because we're at the final episode, right? You got one more to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty behind. I need to get it together.
Anyway, yeah.
Get my life together.
But what's on your mind? What's the main reason you called?
Well, I mean, I really appreciate that you're making a call-in show for to honor these two amazing players. It really sucked to get that tweet that they were both retiring. It was like a punch in the gut, and then it was like uppercut at the same time.
Yeah.
Just seeing that. Yeah. So I mean, but they just were amazing. And like you said with Chancellor, obviously we all knew that he wasn't going to come back.
Yeah.
There was a little glimmer of a hope, like a little tiny little light that I saw, but then it got smaller and smaller as the year went on. But with Baldwin, I was completely shocked.
Yeah, and I think the reason is because anytime you start talking about neck and spinal stuff, you can't mess around. You can be the toughest guy in the world, but that spine becomes an issue. No toughness can protect your spine, right? And so that was the same thing with Cam. Cliff Averill, Max Strong, the fullback for the Seahawks a few years ago, many years ago now, I guess. And so you just, that's why I think the Doug Baldwin one I was hoping he could come back from, because a lot of times, his wasn't a spinal thing. I know he had a shoulder, he had a knee and a groin and other stuff. It's so easy for us to go, oh, it's just a groin thing. Come on, just go, but I pulled my hamstring a couple years ago, and man, that was one of the worst things I ever went through. I did recover from that, but these guys are having all kinds of stuff that we don't even know about. And I'm sure after a while, you're just like, man, I don't want to endure this again. So totally understand.
Yeah, I had a knee injury, and when I was younger, and I can tell you right now, I have not. It's never been the same. So I couldn't imagine going back into the NFL and competing. So it's a little harder than we probably think.
Well, yeah. And even my hamstring, it's not exactly the same. It's like it's a little bit more tender. It's a little not quite the same. But you and I aren't running, trying to break free from a cornerback and linebackers who are trying to knock you on your butt every other play. So it's a little different when it's just the lay public recovering from an injury versus these guys who have to go out on the field and take the punishment and do it again and again and again. So it's totally totally understand. It's just you just want to see them out there, but these guys are human, and they all have a shelf life, and not everyone gets to play into their 30s and 35 or whatever. So I'm just glad that he got to stay on our team the whole time, and we didn't have to see him go to another team, because it's hard to see that.
That's what I thought too.
I mean, selfishly, I'd rather see him. Selfishly, I'd rather see him retire, quote, early as a Seahawk than go to another team and we have to root against them. To Sherman, Earl Thomas, and but hey, those guys got if you got more play in your body and it's just not going to work out with your team, I understand why guys have to keep doing it. I mean, because you only have so many years, you take advantage of it while you can. So it's just hard. It's hard to you never would have thought back in 2013 or 14, Richard Sherman in a 49er uniform. I mean, we've accepted it now because it's happened already. But at the time, you would have been like, no way that would ever happen. That was like the team he hated the most. And now he plays for them, So you just really never know. But yeah, those guys, at least we can say they were a one-team player and only with the Seahawks. So,
Yeah. You know who I really miss? I really miss Kurse and Hauschka.
Yeah, I really missed Hauschka when we were stuck with Blair Walsh. I really missed the hell out of Hauschka. He went on to kick a whole bunch of 50-yard field goals and stuff for the Bills. Kurse is funny about Kurse. He's actually, I think, out there floating around. He's still a free agent right now. After he was released with the Jets, right? I think he's still floating. I've heard some mixed feelings about, hey, we should bring Kurse back and this and that. But I don't know. It's they let him go the first time. I don't know. That's we're talking a few more years later, and I do miss him though, because he was one of those guys that he just had a knack for making the spectacular catch.
Yeah, especially that one game against
the Packers.
Okay, the Packers.
Yeah. And he should have had, not that I like to open old wounds up, but the loss of Super Bowl 49 totally overshadowed the most spectacular Super Bowl catch ever made that is completely forgotten. Because if we'd scored and won the game, which we should have done after that play, Kurse's catch would have been there would have been so many memes and phrases about the curse, Brady's curse, the curse catch, the catch of the curse, or whatever. There'd be so many things talked about that his name would have been forever immortalized with a curse and Tom Brady and the catch. But unfortunately, we know how that turned out. It should never been. We should have had 2 rings and all that stuff. But anyway, it's unfortunately one of the greatest catches that people forget about.
Yeah, that's definitely an old wound too.
Yeah, I never get tired of. I get tired. How do I say it? I hate to think about it, but I can't help but think about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know.
Because
I hear you.
I'll be sitting there
Especially
just.
when you start talking to other sports people, fans. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the NFL is always good to remind us every time we play the Patriots or every time the Super Bowl comes up. They, of course, have to show that play. But, it'll always be there. It'll always be that painful what if or should have been stuck in your mind because it should have. But have to get over it. But we don't. We just live with it. Just live with it, So, well, hey, I got to run. I've got to run. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Did you know that Russell Wilson has his own YouTube channel?
He does? I didn't know that.
He has he hardly has any Well, I mean, he has a lot of subscribers, but I mean, he has a YouTube channel.
Really?
And, I just found this out just a couple days ago.
Really? I didn't know that. I know there's a guy whose YouTube channel is Russell Wilson. He's watched my videos, and I know that's not Russell Wilson. That's some guy who calls himself Russell Wilson. But I didn't know there was actually a Russell Wilson YouTube channel. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay. Yeah. Is it just Russell Wilson? Or is it dangerous?
Yep, just under Russell Wilson.
Huh, okay. I guess he shares space with the other guy who does come and watch my videos. But, okay. I'll take a look. That's cool. All right.
Thanks for doing this. Video about these two guys. Amazing players.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I might have to do a tribute or something to these guys because talking about it is one thing, and it's great to kind of hear people's input and stuff, but I feel like it needs a little bit more, I don't know, a little extra NorbCam touch on it because those are two of my guys, and one of them's half Filipino, so come on. I got to do it.
Yeah, you should because, listen, other team fans, they have mad respect for both of them, so you have to.
Yes, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those guys are class guys besides being awesome, guys on the field, so... All right. Well, thanks,
so nice
Jessica.
To you,
great to talk to you, too. And, you're coming to a game, aren't you?
Yes. I'm really hoping for the Saints game.
That's right.
I'm trying to plan it out.
Okay. All right. So you need to, we'll talk. We got time, but we should definitely discuss because I want to meet up with you before when you come to that game. That would be a lot of fun.
Yay. Okay. I'm so excited.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks,
Bye,
Jessica.
everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone. And with that, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, cut things off. Sorry, I didn't get to all your calls. I can try to get as many as I could. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to NorbCam and hit the notification bell so that you will be alerted anytime I release a future video. All right, we'll do this again next week. But until next time, thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. Go Hawks.